Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Sex with Emily. On today's show, we're tackling your sex and dating questions. Topics include, are you confused by your partner's masturbation routine? Want to know the most responsive emojis to use for dating? Oh, and casual sex. When is too much just too much? All this and more. Thanks for listening.
Look into his eyes. They're the eyes of a man obsessed by sex. Eyes that mock our sacred institutions. Bedroom eyes, they call them in a bygone day.
Hey, Emily, you got a boyfriend? Because my man E here, he just got his heart broken. He thinks you're kind of cute.
A girl's got to have her standards. Oh, my.
Do women know about shrinkage?
Isn't it common knowledge?
What do you mean, like laundry? It shrinks?
Can we not talk about sex so much?
Are you kidding me?
Oh my God, it feels so good.
Being bad feels pretty good. But you know, Emily's not the kind of girl you just play with.
You're listening to Sex with Emily. We're talking about sex, relationships, and everything in between. For more information, go to sexwithemily.com. You can check out all the cool stuff we have going on there. Check out our, videos, blog posts, and also follow us on social media. We love that. Everything's at Sex with Emily across the board. And now we're kind of doing 3 shows a week. We're giving that a try, little quickie shows. I'm here with Menace.
Hey, what's going on?
Hi, Menace.
It feels like it's been a while.
It's been like 6 months, it feels like. Or
No.
6 years. In my heart,
Seriously?
it feels like 6 years. In
every single
real time, in real life, it feels like 6 months.
Yeah, it
How
has,
have you been?
right? I've been great. You know me, always traveling, always working.
I know.
I just got back from New York City, which is an amazing city.
It
and
is.
The weather was perfect. It rained for like a day, but everything else, it was awesome. Went all
I love
over
that.
the city.
I was gonna say, I know that you've been traveling a lot, and we are doing some shows. Do you remember when we did the quickie shows? We used to do those 15-minute shows,
Yeah.
like a long time ago. And so
I love
now,
those.
I know they were fun, and they're like quick information that people can just, snap up. So I was thinking about you because I know that you're traveling a lot, and the Woody Show is like in every city in the world right now.
Hopefully soon.
And I'm so proud of you.
In 2 cities still.
But I was thinking it's like, because we have to figure out how many shows we're going to be able to do together. And I thought I
Yeah.
was and we're doing these quickie shows now. So we used to do those back in the day and people loved them. So I'm bringing the quickie back. We're doing like 3 shows a week.
That's great.
But I was thinking about you, Menace, because how much the last few days we've done a lot of shows here. We had Dr. Drew here. We've been doing a lot of stuff and a lot more shooting and videos. And I was like, I was exhausted. Like I did, a few hours of shows. I was like, Menace gets up every day and just like 16 hours. And I just appreciate you, right? We've known each other for a long time.
Thank you.
And I was thinking, I tell him that. I mean, I tell Menace I appreciate him. And I was like, but does he take compliments? And then I started thinking, what's Menace's love languages? And we've talked about the love language on the
love
show.
languages?
Do you know the love
What?
languages? We've talked about this, haven't we?
I believe
I've been
so.
obsessed with it, the book, The Love Languages. So it talks about how everyone in a relationship receives love, right? In different ways.
Yeah.
There's 5 categories, right? And typically there's 2, how we feel love or appreciated or grateful. And you could do it like with staff. You could do it with your mom. But it came about for people in relationships. It was like a minister in a church developed it years ago. And we talked about it in a few, I drop it here and there. But I think it's such a useful tool because I was thinking, what could I get for Menace? A gift. Here's the 5 things. Ready?
All right.
And you tell me which 2 resonate, how you feel the most appreciated. There's only 2.
Okay.
If someone gives you a gift, like if I was like, I'll bring Menace tequila because he loves tequila. I'm like, he's not really drinking anymore as much. Is it words of affirmation? Like say, Menace, you're so great. Thank you. I appreciate you. Is it physical touch? Like, do you want me to give you a massage when you walk in the door? I don't think it is. But
This is for a relationship or
in
just
a relationship.
in general?
Well, typically they're for a relationship.
Okay.
So for us, physical touch would probably be out unless you want me to like give you a hand job or something.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. So it's words of affirmation, gifts, physical touch, quality time. So if I was like every Tuesday, or if you're in a relationship, I'm going to give you a relationship perspective and then I'll tell you how I feel about you. Gifts. Let's say your girlfriend comes home and she's like, Menace, like I brought you, those new sneakers you wanted. And you're like, or she picked up dinner. She bought you a present you wanted.
All right.
You coveted. Or she knows you're always really hungry and you never have time to get dinner. And then she starts like bringing you dinner every night or a few times a week. She's like, I thought about you. That would be an act of service, right? Or she fills your gas with your car with gas. And she like, does a favor for you, right? Acts of service. I always forget the. Okay, then there's words of affirmation. You're so hot, Menace. You're so great. I think you're amazing. There's physical touch, and she's like, you come home and she's touching you all the time, and you feel very, very loved. And then there's quality time where she's like, you know what, Menace? Every Saturday night, like it's just the 2 of us and none of my friends, none of your friends, and we just together we're gonna commit, or we're just gonna take. Those are the 5.
Okay. And I can only choose 2?
Well, okay. In your heart, and everyone listening, if you're in a relationship, there's got to be like 2 of them that speaks to you most. Like, oh yeah, when my partner, I really wish he bought me more gifts, or I wish that he hugged me more. And there's usually two, and our partner typically doesn't have the same ones. So of those, gifts and act of service, words of affirmation, physical touch, or quality time, which are the two. I feel like it's a game show. He's just going to circle back.
All right, let's start off with number one, gifts, right? So, I absolutely love gifts, but it has to be like something that I really wanted.
Right.
If I just got a gift, like I got
it was like special and you'd been talking about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. That's great.
Right. You can love all of these, but there's two that you're like, oh, that really that makes me feel really good.
Okay.
Or cherished or loved by my girlfriend.
And then the second one was
like acts of service. She thought about you ahead of time. She did your laundry. She picked up your parents' birthday present for you.
Don't really.
Right.
I
got it. I'm the same way.
Care of that myself.
Okay. Words of affirmation. You are the best lover I've ever had. You're so sexy. Look at those glasses. I love you. I want to jump your bones. Or you're just amazing and talented.
I guess I kind of like that as long as it's short. Because if it goes on, I feel like it's
and short
fake.
And brief.
Yes,
I knew you were going to say that because you feel like those things aren't real when couples are like, "Oh, you're so hot." I was just talking about this. Right. Physical touch.
Yeah.
Do you feel like when you don't touch your girlfriend sometimes, or if you haven't touched in a few hours, or when you get home from work, if she just doesn't get up and give you a hug, like how do you feel about not having physical touch?
Then I think that something is wrong.
Okay.
So
and then quality time. Just pick
quality
two
time.
of all those five.
I know. I'm just trying to rethink them all. I think I'm gonna go with gift and physical touch would probably be the best.
Okay.
I guess.
Okay, that's interesting. And then you could think about it. No, that means that of those things in your relationship.
Yeah.
Right. That's what makes.
I guess,
not that you don't need the other things.
I do need the other things, but I
literally wasn't even going to go off on this whole thing. I was just going to get to how much I appreciate you. But it's interesting.
Sorry.
I love it. So out of all, I love this though. This
I really wanted to think
useful.
about the response.
So I know you did. Mm-hmm. So you said gifts and touch. Okay. So I was thinking to myself. I know I've read this book probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I probably don't talk about it enough. But I just feel like even for people in your life, it's helpful thinking about myself. So for me, can you guess what they are?
For you, words of affirmation, definitely.
Right.
And physical touch.
Right.
I don't think you care about gifts.
Not at all.
Active kindness is cool, but I mean, you love talking and having discussions.
Exactly.
And, you're all about physical touch, right?
So you're absolutely right. Words of affirmation, physical touch. When I first read this, I'm like, done. If a guy just says you're hot or I think you're amazing or you're smart and we're touching all the time, I'm happy. Done.
It's like air.
And so I think I think for a lot of times, if it's just a different way to think about your relationship that you're in. If you're like, oh, you know what, we should, and there's like tests to Google it. You can take tests online, or we have the book on my website. But I was thinking to myself, what would make him happy? How can I show my appreciation? And I was thinking that it was gifts, but tequila wasn't working, and I didn't have time to get you something else. And I was thinking it'd be words of affirmation.
All right.
But also, I wouldn't think that you'd really want to cuddle with me when you walked in. I mean, you might. We do hold each other and you throw me around the office for a minute.
Yeah.
So that's all. That's it. So you should take this
what
home and do it with your girlfriend, and you should figure it out, because maybe there's
figure
ways.
Out what she wants.
The point is that couples oftentimes are like, I keep telling her she's hot and that I love her, and I keep buying her gifts and she doesn't care because he needs. Typically, we give how we want love. So I might always be telling my partner he's so amazing, and I might keep touching him, and he's like, you have not spent one night with me alone on a Saturday night without your friends, and I want quality time. So there's no way that me doing what I thought felt good was serving him, because he's like, I just want you to buy me gifts. You didn't buy me a birthday gift, whatever. So it's interesting because couples can miss the mark, and it's an easy way to heal it. So I was thinking about you, and that just all the time and all the things you're doing and how much I love you.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
I think
so I'm going to buy you a gift next time.
Awesome. No, I think I would try to think what my girlfriend would want out of that. I think she would only want
next.
one.
Which one?
Probably more words of affirmation. But the thing is, we are both so overworked. I know that's not an excuse, but I want the opportunity to be there where it comes off completely sincere, because that's what I worry about.
Well, let me tell you this. I was thinking about you again, because I did a show with Dr. Drew months ago, and I actually listened to it because he was coming on again yesterday, and I was like, and it was a really popular show, and you know me, I never listen.
Yeah.
And I talked about you in that show, and I said, Well, there's some guys like Menace who's kind of like, I'm not explain Menace, but he's always like, oh, if I tell her too much how hot she is, she's going to feel too confident. And I can't let women know how much I like them. And it's just going to be like, or it's going to seem fake. Like you always say, like lingerie just seems like a fake concept. Like you saw that in porn. And so you wore something red. And he was laughing. He's like, yeah, I could see that as well. So I was thinking that's why I debated.
He agrees with me.
He did not agree with you. He said he understood that point that men feel that way. And I thought, yeah, if I told him how great he was, maybe it doesn't sink in. So I had all these thoughts about you, Menace.
Wow.
I know. So what's your girlfriend? Because then you could go home and please her right now. Tell her how hot she is because you think that she's going to be like, it's not sincere. But how about you walk in the door and you just think, when you see her, what are you feeling?
I'm excited that she's home.
What if you just told her that?
Yeah, but
what if you came home and you're like, I know you're home every night, but today I was driving home and I was excited you were going to be there.
But I do display that she's...
Do you tell her in words? If she's a word, do those words come out of your mouth? Because sometimes that's the other thing. We think we're expressing. You're like, she knows. Like, I don't need to get him a gift. He has so many things. You know what I'm saying? But for her, she might feel like, Menace never tells me these things and I need it. She called me, actually.
Oh, did she?
Joking.
I highly doubt that. I don't know. I think verbally I can probably express that more.
I love this.
Instead of physically.
Look at this. We could just end the show now. We've helped Menace.
Oh, thank you.
And then, yeah, I think you could think about the other one. I'll text these to you. All
right.
Yeah. So anyway, been thinking a lot about these things.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's going on with you in your life?
So many things. I've been dating, as you know. I think we've talked, like I've been on the apps, which was completely overwhelming.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do it. Meet people in real life. And I've been thinking a lot lately about, I actually recorded a show last week about cell phone, about technology and how they can cut off intimacy. We get home, we're on our phone. Like if you're in a long-term relationship and you're in bed with your phones. And I just said, I'm not even in a relationship and I'm so friggin' attached to my phone. So I'm trying to sleep with it outside the bedroom. And I did a whole 15 minutes on it. And so I was talking about it again. I've been obsessed with this topic. So I go on a date with a guy last night that we had very good text banter beforehand. It's actually the first date that I've looked forward to because he gave great text.
Yeah, which you love.
I love.
You love writers.
He was funny. Thought I was hot. In a non-cheesy way. He was hysterical. But he picks me up and we get to the restaurant and he's like, why don't we leave our cell phones in the car? And I was like, first I felt terror. I was like, I can't be part of myself. He's like, I've never done this either, but I just thought,
I think he's full of shit on that one.
I am or he is.
Wait, no, you said let's leave our
He
phones?
did.
Yeah,
he brought it up. And why?
That's like,
oh God,
that's something he discussed with his friends.
No, he's not like that. Like he's divorced. He hasn't gone out.
A man is a man, Emily.
He wasn't listening to the show. The show did not come out yet. Let's just say that.
I know.
And I thought to myself, that's exactly what but when I was faced with that, I said.
Something you probably read in Cosmopolitan.
No, dude, he's not like, he's way more, this is what you understand. He's like a man. Like he's like not reading Cosmo. He just thought, I'm always with my phone. And he'd been thinking this too. And but when faced with it, I thought, that's terrifying. What am I going to do when you go to the bathroom? I need to look at my phone. Like I can't be, what if I have to snap something? And we left it in the car. I did it. It was like a wonderful dinner without having like the phone, and we had a good time. And I connected, and I realized when it's not with you, I wasn't tempted to like go to the bathroom and check it. Do you? Yeah.
So anyway, what happened from there, though?
So yeah, you're like, fuck that.
Okay.
It was a good date. I liked him. He was TBD. I'm going to see him again, which is good. Most guys, I'm like out in like 50 minutes or less.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then you immediately grabbed your phone and then told everybody about it. Yeah.
Exactly. I tweeted the shit out of it all night. Well, I had to make up for the lost time.
It's become second nature where you just grab your phone and you don't know why. You don't know why you're going on Facebook. You don't know why. There's no reason to go there.
Those hours get sucked out of your life, though.
It does.
Like, do you ever just sit and like stare at your phone, like numbingly?
I do, and then again, that's at night. And I don't know why, because I have television, which I absolutely love.
I know.
But I find myself not watching television because I'm looking at a Facebook app that I opened 47,000 times, and there's nothing there that I want to see.
Exactly. Okay, so this is my point.
Drug.
It's a drug. And it's kind of a way of tuning out. And I'm almost like saying I'm too lazy, because I actually have a new TV, Menace. I have not watched TV ever. And I was really excited. I thought, well, I'll get the TV. I'll get like the Sonos system. You haven't been to my new house yet?
No, I know what it looks like. Yeah,
it's amazing. So, but all I'm doing is I get home and I'm on my phone, and then like 86 minutes go by or whatever it is, and I'm like, I'm still on it. And there's nothing happening. There's nothing. It's almost harder to turn the remote on. That it's lazy and it's numbing. So you guys, when you go home,
Yeah,
do you
but
guys do that together?
My girlfriend and I?
Do you guys sit and stare numbingly at Facebook?
Yeah, we do. But we both have our laptops too because we're both working at the same time.
Right.
But we're sitting next to each other side by side.
Maybe more hands.
We communicate.
Do you text when you're next to each other on the computers?
We talk about pop culture, what's going on, with with Black China and Rob and the Kardashians and all that kind of crap, and then what's happening in the real news of the world and things like that.
That's good. Then you're talking while you're on your computer.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Because my girlfriend also she works in radio, but she works in the digital side, so
Right.
she has to keep up with all that.
I know. I think you guys are great. I'm not trying to say anything's wrong with your relationship. I'm just
saying
filling you
like,
in.
how do we communicate when we're at home with each other and like what we do and talk about, and then we binge watch stuff. I've been
Tell me.
binge watching Girls. There's gonna be probably by this episode's out, the last episode will be out. So I want to make a prediction now.
Go.
So let's see if I'm
Do
right.
it. Call it.
Okay, so
I'm halfway.
So Marnie, I believe that she's gonna get murdered or something.
Stop.
Yeah.
Okay, I have not seen like any. I think I saw 2. Why? You just like you had a hit.
No,
like, you're
because
like,
it was
murder.
it's
I don't know everything going on.
It's super awkward because she got married to some like musician actor guy.
Oh,
right?
she's still with that guy, right? Okay.
Yeah, right. But then it was like episodes way back. He was like freaking out and he was like telling her that you're gonna get murdered. You're gonna get murdered. And then they have never addressed it after that. I go, that was super weird that he was saying that. So I think that I could be totally wrong. I don't know. It's not a spoiler.
You should
because I'm
win
just
something
guessing.
if you. I don't know what.
I know,
What do you
right?
want? I could give you like. I don't know what.
I don't know.
What's the gift?
I don't know
I'm
what
gonna
I
buy you a
need.
gift. No, I really want to see Girls. It's on my list. I just want to sit home and watch TV and like chill.
That's good.
on my
But
list.
so
But
you're
on
out
my
with this
phone.
guy.
Okay, whatever. And then we made out
Oh.
for a second. But
Yeah.
I thought he was cute. But it wasn't like it was like he was affectionate, but not too much so. And he was cute. And I went home. It was like an early-ish night, but there was a connection. I'm going to go out with him again.
Oh, that's good.
But
You got a second
I don't
date.
want to get into it too much because who knows? Because then you'll be like, how was that guy? And I'm like, what guy? Like
Yeah,
next time
totally
I see
forgot
you,
about him. Yeah.
you'll forget. But what I'm saying is things are good. We are, I'm in a good place. I'm glad you're here in the office. And the shows have been great and we miss you.
I'm excited to be here. Speaking about technology, I feel like I don't even hear about Tinder anymore. I hear about Bumble.
That's it.
Which I support because, from what I understand from Bumble, it's all about the women making the first move.
Exactly.
What have I been talking? How long have we known each other now? 12, 13 years?
Yeah, long
What
time.
have I been saying since day one?
What? That women
That I would love
Want
for
to-
women to
initiate more.
Because we've always talked about it. The guys can't pick up on the signs. Is she just my friend? Is she into me? I don't know. And boom, there's an app where you know that she has some kind of interest.
Exactly.
Which is
It takes so much pressure off the guys.
It takes so much pressure. It takes so
Absolutely.
much wasted time away. Everything. I totally support it. Too bad it wasn't available like
When you're
years
single,
ago.
I know.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool, I have to say, but it also gets a little bit overwhelming.
So anyways, I totally support it. I love it. So what's going on in the news? Because I haven't been keeping up with sex in
You
the
have
news.
been keeping up
Yeah.
with Sex in the News. Well, this one I knew would be the most interesting for you
All right.
and me. The best and worst emojis to use on a dating app if you really want to hook up. Speaking
Okay.
of dating apps. Okay.
How about emojis in general, right?
Well, yeah, it kind of talks about emojis in general, like which ones fail, which ones work for men and for women.
I'm just saying using them at all when you're first having communication.
Do you ever use emojis?
Oh, I use emojis all the time, but it's with people I know. But if I was having a conversation with somebody that I didn't know, then I definitely wouldn't use them.
No, it's not like a first time thing. Like, here's
Yeah.
your emoji. Like, no, you have to know
Yeah.
somebody. But when you're dating, it says, okay, so Clover is a Tinder alternative and it has a good rep for leading to quicker hookups. I don't know about Clover. Than the higher profile dating app. In an effort to help users polish their game, they published a breakdown as to which emojis are leading to the most and least responses sent when in early chat sessions. Okay.
All right.
So you can look at this. There's a graph here. We can put this on the website. So emojis women are replying to. And I didn't even know the sassy girl existed. This is what they
Yeah.
reply to. The tongue, I've
So
never seen the tongue.
Women are replying.
Yeah,
I've
when
seen
men
I've
send
seen
this.
all these emojis.
Yeah, but like I would never do. Okay, so it's interesting. Both men and women reply to the see no evil, the monkey with the And then the most important thing, I think, is what the one women aren't replying to. The emojis women aren't replying to.
All right.
Guess.
Yeah. Which one is that?
The eggplant.
The
Dude,
eggplant.
The
of course.
eggplant, even though
supposed
it's...
to mean
yes, the penis. Unless you're totally joking about it. We're not responding to clapping. Your flexed biceps are a fist bump. And here's the thing. When I was
very
reading this,
bro.
I had a visceral reaction. Whenever a guy fist bumps me, I'm like... Okay, bro, dude,
yeah.
like that's the least sexy. Like all the sexiness and all the hotness that's just rushed out of my body at once. Don't like the fist bump. So here's what men aren't replying to, which is hilarious: the Vulcan salute when your fingers are like separated. The wedding ring. Like I'm going to send a guy a wedding ring ever.
No.
Okay. The crying face and poop, the little pile of poo. Yeah. Why would anyone ever send that? So not sexy. So I thought it was interesting, and I also think. Yeah, the popular signs, what they'd love to send and stuff. And there's been all this research lately about how even businesses are using emojis, like in their marketing and stuff like that. So do you know this? Like putting them in the headline of your emails? Because I think that there has been a tipping point in emojis. Like I think that people didn't like them, they resisted, and now they're going to become
Now they're all
everything.
about it.
And nobody, not only do we not talk anymore, we're no longer going to even text. I think that everything can be said like kind of the caveman, going back to like the caveman, like the paint, the drawings on the wall. It's just hieroglyphics. Thank you. We're just going to be sending pictures. That's my prediction.
Well, I think that's what's happening in Asia now. It's mostly just
Exactly. So we just follow Asia?
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, they're the on the forefront of that. But you can say so much in just one symbol, though.
I don't think there's enough. See, here's the thing. I find emojis very limiting. Like, I want to create my own emoji. I'm like, why isn't there a goddamn emoji for, like, God, like, get me a latte now or else I'm going to faint if I don't have the caffeine. Or how about, you're really sending mixed signals. I thought we had plans and you know.
I know you can send Domino's just an emoji and I would send you a pizza.
That's amazing. But what if it's the wrong pizza?
No, I don't know. It's like pre-set up or something.
I'm trying to think of what I would send you, like a gift. Instead of a gift, I could send you like just a gift.
Just a gift.
And tell you that you're hot. Okay, so that's what's going on in the news. Is there anything else in your news world?
I gave you a shout out the other day
on the Woody Show.
On the Woody Show, which if you're listening in St. Louis, Missouri, right now, please turn on Alt 104.9 FM. Every morning, 6 to 10 a.m. And then in Los Angeles, 5 a.m. to 10 a.m. on Alt 98.7 FM every single morning. And we're also a podcast, but we talk about news and stuff like that. Not really that sexy.
People okay.
But we do a segment called Craigslist Freak of the Week. So we read the most outlandish Craigslist ad every week. And one of them was about foot fetishes, and then
you go to like the personals page or whatever the seeking,
and every single one, like missing encounters.
An intern does that. You're not doing that.
It's a group effort.
Got it.
So and there is a lot of photos too, but one what came up was foot fetish, which we've talked about for a number of years, and then there was a discussion about like why are people into that, which is, again, is another discussion that we've had here for
years, right? And you're obsessed with the topic.
I'm not that I'm obsessed with it. I've always tried to understand it. Right. I just want a direct answer. And then so we had that discussion, and then one of our podcaster listeners, like weeks later, sent us an email and said, "Hey, I heard you guys talking about the foot fetish stuff." And she explained that her professor in whatever course she was taking,
Sex 101 or something,
said that the reason that guys are into feet is because of the shoes, and they put their feet in the shoe, and it reminds them of insertion, right? And I was like, oh yeah, but it doesn't make sense.
First of all, there's not one answer for why someone has a fetish,
and it doesn't make sense to me because it seems like all the people, like the visual aspects of it, there's not really that many shoes involved. Like the people are into it.
Right.
The people are into it. Yes, they'll buy shoes for somebody or something like that, but they want the bare feet. So I didn't get that.
No, I don't get that either. Why don't where she goes to school?
Yeah.
Like where she goes to school doesn't matter. That's not what I would say. I mean, a lot of it does start from like early childhood things, like around if you saw a foot in a sexual manner, like if maybe you did see a foot going into a shoe and then you forever fetishize shoes, or maybe like when you were a kid, like, your high school teacher had, you just remember like looking at her feet, or maybe you had an erotic experience with feet.
But this is,
and you link it. You link it.
you saying that, I just beg and pray one day that we get an email.
Well, dude, there's not one answer for sex.
That breaks it down. But what's it make for them? Like, what makes it sexy?
Right. Right. So, okay, if you have, and let me tell you something, there's a lot of different reasons. So what you're asking for specifically, and typically this works, email us. You can email us right from the website, Ask Emily. If you do have a foot fetish, like what is how did it start for you? What do you,
when do you first recognize it?
Right.
What do you think is sexy about it? You know?
Yeah, because we have covered a lot, but I think it's different for everybody. And Menace,
I'm trying
for
to
you,
pinpoint
we're going to
it.
get it. Go to our website and email us.
I'm trying to
Honey, I get it. I want to help
survey,
you here.
Study.
Okay, I love it. Okay, let's take a quick break and give a shout out to our sponsors. And we love you, everyone. Thank you for supporting our sponsors. And I never talk about things that I don't believe in and products I haven't used and inserted, if you will. And so thanks for supporting them. We'll be right back with your emails. Okay, so now we're on to your emails. Thank you, everybody, for emailing me. And it's so easy. You go to sexwithemily.com, click on the Ask Emily tab, fill out the form, and you submit it. That's it. We're also doing call shows, Menace. I want you to come in. We've been doing call shows, and they're really fun. We set them up. A ton of listeners are emailing, and now they can check that box that says, yes, I would like to be called for the show. And we've been setting it up and having calls, and it's fun. And you get into it. I think you'd have a good time here.
I would love to do that.
And I feel like I can really help people when we get into the issues. It's a good time. But you can also, not but means you're discounting the next thing you say. And you can also send us an email. We love that too. And include your age, where you live, and how you listen to the show. Because Menace gets mad if you don't. Hey, Emily, I've been with my amazing boyfriend for 10 months, and the sex is fantastic. Best sex of my life, and he feels the same. We're so in tune. We both love to encourage each other, to learn about what we like and try new things. He's also 30, and while I'm coming out of a marriage, separated a year ago, met my new boyfriend a couple months after that, he's never had a relationship this long. He hasn't had any relationship at all for a few years. He's dated, had a few 3 to 6 month relationships, and took a year off from dating altogether. We have great sex life. It's fun. We do sext. We do sexy Snapchats. It's always fantastic. And I found out that basically, since we started dating, he hasn't masturbated, and he says it's because he is so satisfied. I explore my own pleasure after being in a marriage that wasn't sex positive. So masturbation is important and not a replacement. So I'm wondering, why doesn't he do it anymore? Should he? I'm open about me time. I'm positive, and I don't think he'd be embarrassed about our lies. So why is he doing it? Thanks. Love you. Love your show. Christine, age 30.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
He's being completely honest. He's telling you.
Yeah, nothing
That's
wrong.
why, okay, I'm not going to be sexist here, but.
Right. Sure.
But when a man tells you something, why do you have to think that he's telling you 5 different things?
Exactly. But here's
he's telling you directly what is going on. Believe him.
There is not a problem you don't have to fix it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. However, what my first thought was, Christine, sweetie, you've been listening to the show, and I talk a ton about the importance of masturbation, and that whether you're in a relationship or you're out of a relationship, it is healthy. And the truth is, it is healthy to masturbate. But mostly it's because men need that release, women need that release. But if he's releasing with you and you're having great sex,
and
it's fine. There's no problem. And so the reason I talk about it is, yes, it's healthy. It helps have a stronger pelvic floor. It can help prevent prostate cancer. It can help with erectile dysfunction, all those things. But he's not having any of those problems, Christine. And so it's ebbs and flows. Eventually he'll masturbate again. Don't worry about it. You're fine. I feel so I think that's what it might be, because she hears that it's so important, which it is.
And it's such a new relationship. Eventually, after you're together for a couple of years, don't worry, he'll start masturbating.
How long have they been together? 10 months.
Yeah,
dude. Give it about, the honeymoon phase is 12 months to 18 months. So, sweetie, in 6 months, you're going to be 8 months. You're going to be like, why is he watching so much porn? Yeah. Well, it's funny because we often hear people are confused why their partner masturbates. That's why I love my show. I love the show.
It covers everybody.
Hi, Emily. My name is Kylie. I'm from Michigan, and I'm 23 years old. I love listening to your podcast, and I've learned so much. I love when you have guests on there that can offer different views or opinions on things, especially since everyone comes from different walks of life, like Menace's opinions. I have a 2-part question. I've been friends with my current boyfriend for 7 years now, and we finally started dating in November. Our sex life is amazing, except for one thing. One thing.
There's always a but.
I know it sounds a little ridiculous, but I can't fit his penis in my mouth.
Oh, no. I heard about this.
Yep. He has a lot of girth, and I have a smaller mouth. It's a bad combo. I was wondering if there's anything I can do as far as blowjobs go that isn't going to give me lockjaw, that would still allow me to give him head. The second part of my question is, What can we do in the bedroom besides a hand job that I can pleasure him with since the blowjob isn't working out? Thanks. Keep up the great work, Kylie. A lot of men are going,
Kylie.
yeah. A lot of men are going, God, yeah, I wish I had that problem. No, you guys, I'm telling you, big or small, there's challenges.
Yeah.
So Kylie, here's the thing. I love this question because, first of all, I want all men to know, like, yes, you can be too big. That does exist on the planet. But here's a few tips. You can just, first of all, relax. Because your throat is going to, when you relax and you breathe. So I think it's like anal sex when people tense up too much. They tense up their sphincter muscles when it's going in and it hurts. The same thing is true with most sex acts, but especially blowjobs. So if you're breathing, you relax, concentrate on what you're doing, but like not in like a super, it's not going to fit, it's going to hurt. You're probably clenching your jaw, but also make sure he's lying in his back and you're like in a control position leaning over his pants. Like you're in control, you can get on your knees and that way you can control like the depth and all that. But here's the thing. Here's my number one most important tip that is going to change your life. Your hands. Like your hands are like the best tools you have because a blowjob is not all about the mouth. It's really not. And the hands create that suction and they create that, like you can stroke all the hot nerve endings and stuff. Not replacing it. So you do the whole thing where your mouth goes over the tip and it's like a tube, right? Okay. So she creates like her mouth goes around the tip.
All right.
And then it's like a tube around the penis and she synchronizes it. You've seen that in porn going up and down, up and down. So if you're using a ton of lube and your hands are like tight enough and you're sweeping it up and down, like it's going to feel amazing. You rub his frenulum, which is like that thin little ridge underneath the tip. And like the underside of his penis, which is super sensitive. You can play with his perineum. Menace likes that.
The perineum.
Perineum. The taint.
Play with it all day.
Yeah. So like I think as long as you use your hands, you use lots of lube, which is really important. You could lick his balls. These are all these fun things you could do with your free hand. So one hand is, so do you know what I'm saying? Like I'm trying to explain this. You put a tube with one hand like around your mouth like that. So it's a tube around your lips. Does that make sense? And the hand can make it tight enough so he's not gonna be like, why is your mouth going on my penis?
You have all the areas covered.
Yeah, totally. And then
With
the other
the hand,
free hand.
and
Yeah,
then
but the other free hand play with his balls or his
on the
butt.
tip, yeah.
Yeah. So that's any other tips, Menace? Because I know you struggle with this all the time with your girlfriend. She called me about that as well.
Yeah. Not enough room. I don't know. Is there any...
Let's think about what else you can play with toys.
Is there any like demonstrations online that you can think of?
I have
like,
an image. Well,
kind of, sort of, maybe
porn?
at sexemily.com. Porn too would be...
But it's like, it's really about, because the blowjobs, it's important for it to be wet, for there to be enough friction and enough...
Yeah.
What
about your blowjob spray that you're addicted to?
Oh my God. Dude, lube and blowjob spray. So here's the thing. It's right here. Whenever I do the show, I use this. It's by Doc Johnson. It's called Wet Head. And it's a dry mouth spray. So it'll help your lips, your mouth glide over the penis. And I use it because I think it helps me on the show not have that annoying like crackling.
You like use
strawberry
it all the time.
It's like
now.
a good luck thing before every show. And maybe I'll run into a penis or something. And I'll be ready to go at any time. Okay, so what did I answer her questions? I answered both her questions, right? What else to do in the bedroom? I think you just got to work on the blowjob because you're killing it. And he's going to be happy. And don't feel like you are doing anything wrong. You just have to add the hands. Okay. Hi, Emily. I'm Benjamin from Australia. I'm 42. I love the show, and I've been listening for several years. I was amicably separated from my wife of 16 years last April after we'd finally admitted we weren't right for each other. Admittedly, I'd strayed a couple times while traveling internationally to work.
Of course.
For work. That's when a lot of my straying would happen. When I'm a reformed cheater.
Yeah.
Yes, because you're like, it doesn't matter. Like I'm in Hong Kong. But it does matter.
Man, we had this caller. He was 23, and his girlfriend was going on a European vacation, and he wanted to know if he should propose before or after the vacation. And we're like, dude, two things.
You're 23.
Are you just doing this because you're afraid that she's going to go do something and you're trying to use it as some insurance? Maybe she won't do anything. And he's like, oh no, I totally trust
23?
her, blah, blah. Yeah.
Okay.
I go, I have never met any woman that were in their 20s that went on a European vacation that didn't hook up with somebody.
Exactly.
I'm sorry.
Right.
And I'm not here to put it in your head, but I just know for a fact. And she's going with one of her female friends. They're going to talk themselves into it. They're going to like 4 different areas.
That's
I'm
all
like,
about hooking up with guys from different countries and then never go, oh, you're going to Switzerland.
Yeah.
I'm going to Germany. See you never. Like, that's what you do on those trips.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And then what? Then you tell him just don't do it because guys are
said,
pissing on
"Don't
the
do it."
territory. Like that, he's trying to be like, well, if I lock her down, she won't cheat.
Yeah, and I said, look,
And she should let her
and
go
I said,
free.
I go, how lame is that too? That if you propose to your girlfriend and then she's like gone for a week, like right after that, like wouldn't that be a time that you would want to go on a trip together, to celebrate and stuff like that? I said, you know what, just if this is something you absolutely want to do, then you should wait till after.
I agree.
It's
good. So hopefully he'll listen to your sage advice.
Hopefully.
Okay, but where were we? Okay, so he strayed.
Yeah.
And he was having an affair. Okay, let's see. Let me go back to this. He strayed because he was traveling internationally for work, and he found out 2 years ago that she'd been secretly playing around fairly heavily for the previous 12 months, meeting guys from online adult sites. I had no idea, and I was shocked. After that, we tried to make it work, but it was clear we wanted different things. As soon as we separated, I jumped right in the dating scene. This isn't meant to sound boastful, but I was amazed at the attention I received. I'd quickly built up multiple casual partners, went to a few swinger parties with some of them, and had an awesome time ticking off those fantasy bucket list items. Threesomes, outdoor sex, ridiculous multiple orgasms. Additionally, I loved developing a connection with each of them and filling in many of the emotional need gaps I was craving during marriage. But it soon got out of hand. At one point, there was something like 15 women I was talking to and meeting on a regular basis. I'm embarrassed to say that I even created a spreadsheet to help me track how long it had been since I'd met each of them and help me sort through who I should continue seeing. Several of them, this is like a whole, there's so much here. Several of them asked me to become exclusive, and I felt it was way too soon after a long relationship. So here's the bottom line. Here's his question.
Yeah.
Dear Miss Emily, how do I settle down after enjoying such carefree, casual fun? How long should I, in quote, avoid getting into another relationship? Love everything you're doing. Delightful to see you on Instagram. Thanks for reading, Ben.
All right.
This is like another one of those, like, what should I do? Is it okay? Like, here's the thing, like the master, dude, it's up to you. Don't be pressured that you don't need to ever settle down again.
You don't.
Or
if you don't want to.
But if you're doing 15 women and you're becoming overwhelmed, I think that, like, okay, so I went through phases, never 15, although I get wanting a spreadsheet just for the people I'm connecting
keep everything
with.
track.
Like, I've had those thoughts if I liked Excel, but I hate spreadsheet. They give me anxiety, but it's a good thing. I totally get it. However, if these girls are asking you, first of all, you never want to be pressured into a relationship. So if you're not ready, like, keep having fun. But it sounds to me like maybe you're getting to the point where it could be slightly overwhelming, and then you'll know, and you'll be like, you know what? There's a lot of these women. It's hard to remember who I told this story to, because that would be my thing when I was dating multiple guys. I'd be like, I told you that story about what happened when I hit the gate at work.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you didn't.
No.
I'm like, oh, okay. Who would I tell this to?
Yeah.
So among other things that are problematic. So I just think, like, don't pressure yourself whenever you're ready. You were in a long-term relationship for how long? 16 years. You might have another year or two.
You'll find somebody.
Yeah, dude, don't trip on it. I'm not going to give you a time. I'm not going to say anything. And just as long as you're honest with these women and you let them know, like, you know what? I'm so flattered. I love spending time with you, but right now I just really need space to kind of figure out myself and what I want, and be honest with them. But you're not doing anything wrong.
No,
you're fine. Do you, Ben? Okay. That's what we got time for, I think.
Oh, man.
I know, I'm sad.
It was such great time. It was such a great time seeing you. It was such a great time. It was such a good time seeing you. It's been too long, and I'm happy to be here with you.
I'm happy that you're with me as well, and I miss you. And everyone can check out Menace, at Menace, and all your...
Just at Menace, that's
everything.
it. MENACE.
And, like, follow me, and, like...
Totes.
Totes, man. I'm on... Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook. It's all Sex with Emily. Shop at our store. It's a really good time. We have all the things I talk about on the show. And then what else did I want to tell people?
Oh, can I say one thing?
Yeah, there was something else. Yeah.
Oh, I know, some people in the podcast world, they didn't like it for some reason. I don't know why. But I know the general public, it was huge. But I want to say a big thank you to Finding Richard Simmons, the podcast series that came out, because I think that really opened the door for people that weren't into podcasting to, like, really check it out and see what podcasting.
I thought it was that second Serial one that got people into podcasts. It was the Finding Richard Simmons.
No, that was for
one?
hipsters. This is like
there has been a tipping point in podcasting as well.
I think this is for, like, the mainstream general public that that really opened the doors for getting more people to
You're
listen
right.
to podcasts and understand how to even get a podcast on their phone or on the computer.
Right. It's so easy. And people think it's like there's like a barrier to entry with technology. They're like, I've been thinking about it. Like they're like, I've been thinking about like learning to swim or something. Like, it's on the list, but I'm trying to get into a podcast. That's how people answer. I'm like, dude, there's an app on your phone.
It's super easy.
And you search for anything. It's free. You download it.
Of course, the people that are listening to this know
You guys know.
already.
But the other thing, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Were you done with your thought
No,
there?
I was
Like,
just
you
going
know-
to say, I don't know anybody that was involved with that podcast, but I thought it was great. And
I
I
haven't seen it. I
just
haven't
want to
listened.
say thank you.
Well,
Because
what I
anybody
want to thank
that's
everybody
podcasting out there,
is the last. Yeah, no, totally. I've heard a few shows, but also, Menace, what you don't know, what I forgot to tell you is that in the last month and a half, 2 months, we've had more listeners. Our listenership went up like 40%, 30%
wow.
just in the last few months. So we have all these new listeners that have never been here. They have no idea who you are.
It's great.
So
Well,
welcome,
hello,
Menace.
welcome.
If you didn't go
Yeah.
back, maybe you didn't go back and binge on 5,000 episodes. And so welcome to the Sex Family family. I love it. They're all over the world. It's amazing. So
Thank you.
please email us with your questions. And yeah, dude, family's growing.
Love
I keep
it.
calling you dude.
Dude, bro.
We're on spring break. Okay, I love you all. Thanks for listening. And thanks to my amazing team, Ken, Halita, producer Lark, Jamie, and Michael. And of course, you, Menace. And thanks to all my listeners. Thanks for listening. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.